Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring you our thoughts on the latest games and news around the sports world. A lot of exciting stuff happened this week. We're gonna go over the week 13 breakdown, the week 14 predictions. The Jets fired somebody, but it's not who you think. The Steelers got taken down. Seahawks might be in trouble. What our thoughts are on the playoffs here coming up soon. The NHL has a start date, and possibly some more NBA news as well, and some college football news.
I didn't know the NHL had a start date.
NHL does have a start date now. I mean, we could
Nice.
actually, before we can just knock that off, right? Because it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
January 13th.
So
So
they ironed out the contracts and everything? Because I know there was a lot of
exactly.
issues.
Yeah, they ironed out all the deals. They ironed out all the money. Like they pretty much went with the same agreement they had during the bubble and last year. So I
Okay.
mean, I don't know if they're doing it in a bubble. I haven't heard anything about that, but as of right now, January 13th, it's a go. Everything's set. So
And
that's
hockey's
pretty
back.
cool. It's
Nice.
exciting because hey, Flyers were the 1 seed last year. Maybe something exciting is gonna happen in Philly
Right.
sports. Because
Hey.
at the end of the podcast, stick around. I'm gonna have a Philly State of the Union because we gotta address some things happening in Philadelphia right now, and that way I don't have to kind of repeat myself going forward because it's gonna be like this the rest of the season. So we'll just kind of hop
Stick
into the week
around for that.
13. Yeah, the first game, what was the one? Saints and the Falcons.
Saints and the Falcons. Let me pull this up.
Saints won 21-16. It was an
Taysom
all
Hill
right game.
finally threw a touchdown pass. Finally.
He threw two of them.
Two of them.
Two of them. He actually had 230 yards. Went 27 for 37.
Starting to
Two
look like
touchdowns.
quarterback.
Yeah, I mean he pretty much had to throw during that game. And I mean Alvin Kamara got a little bit more involved as well than he has been the past couple weeks.
The Saints D is nice, but Atlanta was definitely off as far as their
Yeah.
offense that day, you know.
It seems
So
like Atlanta, like they're still losing games, but they got a little better. It seems without the whatever his name was. I'm blanking
thought
right.
Dan
Quinn.
Quinn.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it gave him a little bit of a resurgence. Like obviously, maybe scheme was the issue, but there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot more issues here as far as
Like
this goes.
the
But
Saints are
they're
dominant right
hanging.
now. They're 10-2. Uh,
Hmm.
we'll kind of get into the next game. I mean, next week's game with the Saints, but
The
yeah, I
Saints
mean
are
the
gonna get Drew
Saints.
Brees back eventually,
Yeah, they're saying possibly next week. Not with next week, but the week after.
right? And then
So who
they're just
knows?
gonna keep rolling with what they're doing. So that's a team to
Exactly.
watch going forward for sure. In the middle of
Yeah.
the season, there we're having a lot of doubts.
Yeah, and I mean the playoffs are usually people excited for the Saints for the playoffs, but I mean
You see what happens
we've
every
seen what
time,
happens every single time. I don't know. There's always something.
right?
Uh, so I mean, we can move on though. The Lions and the Bears game. Oh, the Bears. I think we both
We
took the
both
Bears, didn't
picked
we?
Chicago in this one, so this was the first out of the week.
Chicago thought they had it until until Lions were able to come back and pull it off, man.
Still haven't won a game since you said that they would
Right?
go 0 and
The one thing
whatever.
I was like dead right about with this year
Yeah,
was like they're not
this
going to
was
win another game. They
your
are still
best
stuck at
prediction.
5 wins and have lost
If
seven,
they end
like
up
six straight, pretty much.
if they end up 5-11, then I'm gonna be like, holy shit, Wyatt was right. It's just gonna blow my mind.
I have another outrageous prediction that might be right that I made today. That is totally outrageous, but I'll talk about that later. Uh,
Okay,
just have to remind me. But I mean, the
okay.
Bears are who we thought they were. The Lions,
The
they're
Bears are who we thought they were. We did pick them though. Like I had more faith in them than I did in the
yeah,
Patricia List Lions, but
exactly.
they
Getting rid of Patricia, you never. I guess there was a chance of him coming, like being able to rally without the coach. Like maybe he was the one
Adrian
holding him back.
Peterson
But
has been running crazy, and it's been nice to see, but it wasn't enough, you know.
yeah, I mean Matt Stafford had 400 yards too and three
3 TDs.
touchdowns. Yeah,
Sorry, sorry, I'm just
Matty
charging my
Stafford.
charger.
They need to
That's
get him
supposed
out of
to
Detroit.
get him to New
I
England.
mean AP, he even had two touchdowns.
Get Matt Stafford to New England.
Listen, my prediction is going to be better for you because it involves the Patriots. But we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll
I
get to
wrote down here prediction question mark because I need
yeah.
to
It's an
ask you about
outrageous
that
one
later.
that's probably may not happen next year, but in the future I can see it happening.
Gotcha.
Um,
Let's get to this next
what's
one
the next one? The
here.
Browns and the Titans. Holy hell, man! The
A
Browns,
surprise.
they just
28 points in the second quarter, man.
yeah, and they didn't let up, man. They went up to score 41. I mean, the Titans, they were held, I think it's 7 for the longest time, and
Yeah,
then they
they
started
did
playing
end up
like
coming back though.
garbage time defense, the
Right.
lax defense.
But if you
But
look at it, Titans like the Browns did all that in the first half. 10 points in the
yeah,
first quarter, 28 in the second, and then 3 in the third, 0 in the fourth, where Titans had 14 in the third and 14 in the fourth. Like they were trying. They were
yeah, the
storming
Titans
back.
they tried to bring it back.
But that just shows you the Browns defense is still kind of suspect, but their offense is the real deal.
Yeah, it
And
seems like
they're
they may
good
have
enough
got it
to
figured
slow
out.
down. Right, and they were good enough to slow down Derrick Henry. So that's
Yeah,
a team to
exactly.
watch. They're already at
Your
9
defense is
wins.
all right if you could stop Derrick Henry.
We both picked Tennessee in that one, though.
Yeah,
So we took the
wasn't
L on
good.
that one, too.
Not good.
This next one was pretty easy.
The Dolphins and the Bengals. Yeah.
Even though it was uglier than it should have been, you
Yeah,
know.
you're right. I wasn't really sure. Like, I don't know if anybody was really sure about Tua starting either. I was kind of surprised to like see that he started. I mean, he
Right.
was playing.
They're 8-4 now, you know. Dolphins.
These Dolphins, man, they turned it around.
I'm
Who
personally
thought?
hoping for some losses so my Patriots could catch up to it, but they're going to end up probably with a nice playoff position in a wild card because Buffalo's going to win the division,
Yeah.
and it's just going to be interesting to see the wild card that is of having them in the playoffs facing maybe like a Kansas City or a Pittsburgh or
It's gonna be
something
such
like
a
that.
weird
Like,
playoffs. We're gonna be seeing some teams that we don't normally really wouldn't see in the playoffs.
right, right.
But I mean, the Dolphins, who knows? I think they're a team that they could. I wouldn't say they could beat anybody, but they can give pretty much most teams a run for their money.
Right. I think they could hang with anybody other than maybe a Kansas City,
Yeah,
or a
like a
Saints.
super explosive offense.
Right.
The next one was super close as well. The Jags and the Vikings. I
Had to
mean, the
have
Vikings were
overtime.
behind most of that game. I mean, and old primetime Kirk, not in prime
Yeah.
time.
3 touchdowns, 300 yards. He's
Yeah,
having a hell of a season
decided an
statistically.
OT.
They're sitting there at 6-6 too. I don't see them winning the division. They might squeak a wild card, but the NFC is too tight for a 6-6 team. I don't see them
Yeah.
making it.
Dalvin Cook had
Maybe
120 yards. That like not a lot of people like talked about, but it was mostly
right.
like they were trying to come back. But
32 carries. Oof, man,
yeah,
he's getting some
like
work.
Glenn and the
That's good.
Cannon, just like launching them down the field.
Hey,
Gardner
it's
Minshew
nice
is
to
pretty much
see.
begging for his job. Apparently, I saw that report. Apparently today, like Gardner Minshew is pretty much like I wouldn't say begging, but like he keeps trying to like get the starting job, trying to win it back. I
Right.
mean, Glennon, he's slinging it out there, man. I don't know.
And he's pushing teams to the brink,
Yeah,
Might
yeah,
not win,
exactly.
but he got close. So I would
Yeah,
roll with Glennon for now. He's
yeah.
got the momentum of the team.
Jaguars are
It's not
tanking
like
right.
it's
They're not
right.
suspect like the Jets.
Yeah. Like we're getting to that here next. The Raiders and the Jets.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
I thought the Raiders were going to lose this game, to be honest,
me too.
until the famous now last play of the game where
Henry Ruggs.
yeah, Henry Ruggs. I mean, the Jets for some reason decided to all out blitz the Raiders when they were at like midfield pretty much. And
Cost that
I
man
don't
his
I don't
job.
remember how much time was on the it wasn't much time left on the clock. Like all they had to do was just stop him from getting to the end zone. And they couldn't do that. They just for some reason all out blitzed, which did lead to a coaching fire, and it was the defensive coordinator. What was
Yep.
his name?
Greg Williams.
Greg Williams. Yeah, he's probably not going to get another start. coordinator spot again, because that was
No.
that was embarrassing, man. Like it seemed the Jets were going to get their first dub against a decent Raiders team.
Greg Williams has a reputation of being like an egotistical maniac. Like, and they're talking about the only reason he even called that play was to like prove his own genius or what. Like they were just talking a bunch of shit on him, and because I didn't really know too much about him, to be honest. I know he had beef. I know he used to be in Cleveland. I'm pretty sure because him and Odell had, or it was New York. I don't remember, but him and Odell had beef at one point and all. But I just remember hearing about him and his the way he was play calling just cost like it shows his goals, not the team's. Like he's always just trying to prove to everybody that he's this mastermind and all this, and like doesn't really always have the team.
Awful lot like Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Greg Williams or Doug Peterson?
But like that's just. I was even listening. They were. It was a radio with or an interview with what's his name? The Lombardi. Michael Lombardi. Michael Lombardi. Yeah, he was just like shitting all Greg Williams, and I'm like, damn. Like, but he was saying,
Michael Lombardi. He was like a GM for the Pats at one point. Like he's pretty much been worked everywhere within a front office before.
It was crazy. I don't think he's getting a job anywhere else, like you were saying, man. Yeah, and if I think he will, obviously, but like not a defensive coordinator position even right now. Like I don't even see him getting.
It'll be just like a coach, like a linebacker coach or something, front line coach.
Maybe.
But yeah, the Jets are the Jets. What are they at now? They're like 0-12, 0-11.
I hope
0-12.
Trevor Lawrence like refuses to go to the Jets. You know, like yeah, the same way like Eli did back in the day and all that. Like just refuses to go to the Jets. I would love to see that.
Not gonna do it.
No,
I'll play college for another year. Whatever. That's cool too. I'll do that. I'm having success.
That's cool too. It's like big man on campus and everything right now.
Like,
you
I'm
know?
back.
I'm back. All right, well, we both picked Vegas in that one, so that was
we both picked Vegas. I'm glad they came back and won that one. The next one was the Colts and the Texans, and it looked like maybe the Texans were going to win that game at one point. That old Phillip Rivers and the Colts kind of came down and pulled something out, you know.
Deshaun Watson fumbled at like the goal line at the end of the game.
Yeah,
with like 2 minutes left, they were driving. They were about to and just fumbled. Like, you know, you hate to see it. 341 yards,
Deshaun
no touchdowns.
Out of there. Get this man out of Houston. Unless they're gonna like bring a decent coach in with a GM that can actually build around him. But at this point, I mean, that's gonna be a process. At this point, you're not gonna be able to do something within 1 year. I don't think.
Right. And he's there. I don't unless they trade him, it's gonna be a while before he has a chance to go anywhere. You know, I think he's just signed a contract.
Exactly, he just signed a deal, and that was before like D-Hop got traded and everything. So I'm sure that like old Billy O'Brien told him, yeah, everything's gonna be fine, man. We go win a title here next year or so.
You saw how close we got this year.
Yeah.
You know, fired, trade D-Hop, all this like
This is like the world's burning. Indy, on the other hand, they're 8-4 right now. They're sitting all right. They're not amazing.
They're sitting all right, but they have some ugly ugly losses.
Yes.
Like where it makes me wonder.
They have been blown out before.
Shit, the Texans beat us, so I can't say nothing bad about them. Didn't they beat us or right? Am I misremembering?
I think they beat you last year, didn't they?
It sounds like a bad Patriots fan. I'm just drawing a blank here.
I think they definitely beat you last year.
Thought they beat us this year too.
Oh.
Pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, they beat us 27. They beat us 27-20 2 weeks ago.
Oh man. That was when like Will Fuller was still active and stuff though too.
Yeah. Yeah, they that's what I was like. They definitely just beat us. I thought so. But that's okay, because we're still 6-6. We'll get to the Patriots.
But yeah, I think do we both have the Colts in that one?
We did. We did.
Okay,
So we
word.
both.
That was
This
good. That
next
one
one was the one that we
that we
differed
did
on.
different. Because I went with the Cardinals, you went with the Rams, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I mean the Cardinals, man. I don't know what's up with the Cardinals. They just like are so wishy-washy each week. You never
Yeah,
know
and
what team you're gonna get.
the Rams, who I think are wishy-washy, are starting to be real solid. They're starting to play
Exactly.
the
I'm
same
actually
type of
starting
football.
to agree with you, to be honest. They're playing their best football at the right time.
Right.
They're
It's
kind of
like they
getting it
flip
figured out.
spots. They have a chance to win this division at this
Yeah,
point. Like I feel like they're favorites to win this division at this point because Seattle's just slipping as well, you know. So
yeah.
we'll
Jeez.
see.
Yeah, I mean the Rams, they're definitely looking solid. The Cardinals, they need to figure something out, man.
The Rams
Um,
are well coached, and like this is what you saw when they ended up getting to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They just played good football down the
yeah,
stretch. Like
and they're
they figured it out.
sneaky. Nobody's really talking about the Rams. They're
Yeah.
not dominant like they really were that year that they went to the Super Bowl, where they were
Right.
just like I think they had what did they end up like 13-3 that year, I think.
But they still have Aaron Donald. You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I'm
they
saying. That
got
defense is
Jalen
decent.
Ramsey. So the Rams are a team to be scared of in the NFC playoffs over there.
Yeah. The next one was the Giants and the Seahawks, which was the upset of actually tied probably for upset of the week.
Yeah,
Probably I wouldn't because the other one was
this
against an
probably
undefeated team. I would probably say this one
a little
it was
lesser.
a little lesser.
And any other week, this would have been crazy. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. The Giants beat the Seahawks, man. I
the
mean,
Giants are trying to take a stranglehold on that division.
yeah. And I mean, I predicted the past couple weeks that I think the Giants are going to win this division for the East.
Washington's not letting them.
Washington, yeah, it's going to be between Washington No Names and the Giants.
Who
But
would have thought at the beginning of this season that the Giants and the no
because
names
we
would be fighting
usually
for
it's Philly and Dallas leading the division, like
exactly.
flopping in and out. But I mean, the Seahawks, their offense, they're like Russ can't get any protection. That's nothing new for Russ, but it's
Right.
starting to affect him a little bit more. I mean, he's at the point where he's got to score now, and the defense is just not helping him out at all. That's
They
like the rest of the year, but
even though they held the Giants to 17 points, but
yeah,
they couldn't do anything with that offense, which is very surprising. You know.
very surprising. So I mean, who knows? We'll see what game is next week for them. So hopefully they can turn it around. Because I mean, Seahawks were kind of my team for a minute, but my favor's kind of growing with the old number 12 over in Green Bay. But we'll
As
talk
far
about
as
him.
getting out of the NFC,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Like that. We'll talk about that a little bit then. But the
that's the next
Giants,
game
man, I
here.
think they're on like a 4 out of 5 game win streak or something like that. Something
Yeah,
crazy.
and then Penn, like if what's his name, the tight end for the Giants, um,
Ingram.
Ingram, if he would have caught that pass against y'all, like nothing against like you
Oh
or
yeah,
anything,
they
but if
they
he
would
would
have
have
won.
caught that,
They would
they
have.
would have
Yeah.
won that game too. So they would have been sitting at 6-6 right now, looking even better, almost at 500. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't catch it, so they lost, and they're sitting where they are. But I just was thinking about that. Even they're stringing
Yeah.
these wins together, and even they had an opportunity to win that one. So like they've been
I
playing good
agree.
ball.
And I was saying that they look like a complete team the past
Hmm.
couple weeks. And I mean, man, Joe Judge over there, I don't know what he's doing, but it seems like it's working.
Right.
Um, I mean, they're just going to keep rolling. The next one we'll talk about your boys, the Patriots and the Chargers. Chargers land old goose egg for the first
That
time. Let's see, Justin
was
Herbert couldn't do
great.
a damn thing.
They ended up apparently I was looking at this earlier. It's the first time they were shut out since 2014. Okay, first time. And then Anthony Lynn, this is a quote straight from him. That was one of the worst football games I've ever been a part of in my 30 years in the National Football League. That was unacceptable and embarrassing. And I'm just like, oh man, it's just
Because you guys had like 2 defensive touchdowns, didn't you?
he had a punt return touchdown.
Punt
They had
return.
a defensive touchdown. or what was the punt return and a field goal block. That's what it was.
45-0.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys put a
And
whooping on them. I
Cam
was
only
gonna
had
say
69 yards.
69 yards and a touchdown, man. He only threw 19 passes. He went 12 and 19. But it's not like he passed bad. He just
No,
didn't have to pass at
he
that
did
point.
just didn't have to. We even had Studham come in and throw 2 of 3 for 61 yards and a touchdown. He ended up having a bomb down the field. So like it was nice to see. It was a good
Yeah.
day. A
You
good
guys,
day
it
for
seems
the
like the
Wrigley.
Pats are kind of figuring it out a little bit here.
Cam also had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Just saying,
Oh, he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
2
Nice.
rush touchdowns, passing touchdown. He had 48 yards rushing. So it's looking all right. Like they're starting to figure out what they're good at and what they're not good at. So I mean,
Yeah.
this was the Chargers. You know, it was the Chargers, and Bill Belichick has a crazy record against rookie quarterbacks. So like it was kind of like, yeah, we already knew what was going to happen, no matter how bad the Patriots were.
Yeah.
But that was nice to see. 45-0. 4 of the last 5 games they've won now, so not out of it yet, but need a lot of help to get the playoff.
Yeah. You're gonna need the Bills, who are kind of starting to figure it out a little bit more. They're starting to gear up for the playoffs. And the
Mhm.
Dolphins, who I wouldn't say they're in that mode yet, but they're just kind of they're decent. They're all right.
They need to figure out the quarterback situation here. I mean, I obviously not
Yeah.
figure it out. That's not necessarily what I mean, but like, is Tua healthy? Is he not healthy? Is Fitz gonna
He's just
start?
playing
Like,
with that little like cast around his thumb, like that little
mhm.
like
So that's something to keep an eye on too, as far as if they can finish out and keep that wild card spot from Bill Belichick and then Patriots.
yeah. And I mean, I think did we both have the Patriots in that one?
Yep, we both
Yep.
had New England.
So I sided with New England on that one.
Okay,
So I guess we'll talk about this game real quick.
this
I'm not
next
going to get
one.
too into it. The Eagles and the Packers. As everybody may know by now, Carson Wentz was benched this game. He was benched, I think it was during the third quarter. He only had, I'll have to look here. I don't remember. It doesn't show me how many yards he had.
He
I think
had
he only had like 80 or something yards,
79.
70, 79.
Mhm.
He had no turnovers. He didn't throw a pick or have a fumble or anything. He was just having a rough go. They weren't the first couple drives. I mean, the first drive they were able to go kick a field goal. It looked promising. They had some momentum going forward, and then like the line just kept folding. He kept running. He kept getting sacked. And I mean, as far as everybody knew, he was on a short leash at this point. They pulled him, and then Jalen Hurts comes in. And at this point, we're going to talk about this a little bit. At this point, the Eagles were losing 20-3 when Jalen Hurts is put in. Jalen Hurts has a nice little drive. He has a nice pass to Reagor, and then he I think it was like 4th and 13. He bombs it to Greg Ward, and then after that, it kind of built like a momentum a little bit. They stopped the Packers, and then Jalen Reagor had a punt return the next time after that. But, and this is where a lot of people are putting it together. I understand. I want Jalen Hurts to do well. As an Eagles fan, if he's the starter, I'm rooting for him. Like, I'm just rooting for the team at this point. But that was a garbage time touchdown that he threw there. That defense was soft because as soon as they turned that defense up, as soon as those touchdowns happened, he went a
We'll
3 and
see what
out. He
happens
was
though.
sacked multiple times. He missed a couple throws. My point is, when they turned the defense up, you were seeing the same things that were happening when Carson was playing. That's my
Yeah,
point. You were like, he was getting sacked. He was
he
running for
still
his
got
life.
sacked 3 times. He got
Exactly.
sacked 3 times in the
the
quarter and a half that he played, as
Yeah,
compared to the 4 times Carson got sacked in the 2.5 quarters that he played.
exactly.
So
And
realistically, he got sacked at a higher rate.
he looked better because he was more mobile. Like, he was
Yeah.
able to run around better than Carson. And I'm not like, he played great. I mean, his first really chance to go in and actually play and throw some pass and everything, he did great. And as of right now, he is officially named the starter this week coming up against the Saints. So I mean, we'll see what happens whenever he actually has a game plan under his belt. But I mean, Miles Sanders ran it 10 times this game. Jordan Howard ran it 11, who he came up off the practice squad. Like, it's the run game is ridiculous, man. I don't know what they're doing. I think it's going to help Jalen out if they use the run game. But I think
They only had 25 rushes as a team.
Yeah.
And
I
you
mean,
guys had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different rushers.
and for the most part, the defense did all they could do to keep us in the game if we could have scored points.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he was still doing his thing. They put up 30 points, man. I mean,
Held them to nothing in the first quarter.
Yeah, Aaron Jones ended up having like a 70-yard run or 66-yard run or something.
Which was crazy. That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And
it was nice on his part, but it should, like, tackles would have been made normally.
Exactly. And I mean, Devontae, he had a crazy catch in the end zone too. That was wild. Like, he went up and got it, dude. It was wild.
Right. That's just
I like the Packers,
man.
so there's no hate. I mean, and I understand the situation in Philly, but It is what it is. I mean, I'll talk about the Eagles more. I'll just talk about the game as of right now, but it is what it is, man. I definitely bet the Packers in this one. I know you did too. Yep. I was expecting this to happen. Honestly, I expected Hurts to be put in at one point because I knew this was the same thing was going to happen. I knew Carson was going to end up struggling. And I think this may be for the best for Carson at this point. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that game as of right now. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. It is what it is. The Packers, the Packers are the Packers, man. They have that many wins for a reason. I mean, how many wins?
We'll see what happens going
9
forward,
wins.
Man.
We'll see what happens going forward. The next game was the Broncos and the Chiefs, which was a better game than a lot of people realized.
This was a pretty good game. It was
gonna be. Yeah.
I mean, Pat Mahomes still ended up pulling it out.
It probably wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been as good of a game if they would have counted that touchdown.
A lot of people aren't counting Pat Mahomes as an MVP this year, and it doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
He really should be the MVP like front runner right now. And I understand Aaron Rodgers is balling, but Pat Mahomes he's still doing amazing shit. Like, and it's week by week by week. They don't have any ugly losses. They have that one to the Raiders, but it wasn't like they got blown out. Like it was.
I agree.
It was a competitive game. I think. I mean, if we look back here, honestly, I know we made our midseason. I'd actually, personally, I picked Aaron Rodgers to win MVP.
Yeah.
Looks like you picked Russell Wilson and Alex picked Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
Yeah, that looks pretty terrible at this point. Well, let's take a look here.
Aaron Rodgers, so
as of right now, Pat Mahomes has 3,800 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Right. Where's Rodgers? Rodgers has 3,300 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
So slightly worse stats, only slightly.
Slightly,
but still,
yeah.
I think Pat Mahomes edges him for MVP this year.
Yeah, Pat has like 500 more yards. But yeah, I agree, unless something crazy happens. But
right, we still got a couple games left. Pat Mahomes has a chance to get the 50 touchdowns this year again.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got 4 games left?
We had the Chiefs in that one. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because they're at 12 right now. So 4 games left. 400 yards each time. 3 touchdowns each time. He can end up there. He's only 12 away right now. 3 touchdowns each game.
I mean, this could have been like 29-16 if they counted that crazy touchdown catch that Tyreek. That was
Tyreek one.
That bounced it looked like it hit the ground, but he ended up bringing it in.
He even seemed like he didn't think he caught it, but it looked like it. You know what I mean? As far as the cameras go.
Then he ended up getting one later where he did that another backflip in the end zone.
Right.
Wherever. But the Chiefs, man,
they're gonna take that 1 seed away from the Steelers.
They're gonna win the Super Bowl again. Like what we were saying even before the season started, the Chiefs are gonna win the damn Super Bowl again.
I do want to see as far as because since we did look
unless
back at
somehow we'll get into the predictions. What were the predictions at the beginning of the season?
You picked Kansas City to win the Super Bowl. This is the Week
Who
8
did I
prediction.
have?
You
Like,
had
who did I
Kansas City. I would have to look back at a previous video to see our preseason predictions because
I
I
didn't
don't
know
think I
who I
have that
had him
written
playing
down.
against.
You have Tampa Bay versus Kansas City.
Oh, I'm
I
definitely
have
thinking about switching that now.
Pittsburgh and Seattle with Pittsburgh
Oh,
winning the Super Bowl.
oh,
Yeah, that was even worse. So at least maybe I'll get the MVP right if Aaron Rodgers gets it. But like I said, I think Pat Mahomes deserves it anyway. But
yeah,
that reminds us. Let's move on to this next game. The
yeah.
no
We both picked the
names.
Chiefs.
The
But
no
Monday,
names.
yeah.
Take it
Speaking
all,
of,
Steelers.
oh my gosh, great game. The Washington note, Alex Smith, man,
The
and
bloody sock.
the bloody leg, man. It was wild. It was scary. I was like,
I
this
know.
dude,
What is that even
Alex
from?
Smith, removed, like, apparently a dude like trampled on his leg. Apparently he had like a hole in his leg from a cleat, and it was just like dripping. But this dude, fuck it. I came back. I got a starting job again. I'm gonna keep playing. My leg ain't broke
Comeback
again.
player of the
I'm gonna
year.
keep playing. Oh, for
He
sure.
just solidified his
Yeah.
position as comeback player of the year with this victory here. It's just
I know we
crazy to
hate.
see.
I know we hate on the Steelers, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
They were
Ben still
going
had
back.
300 yards.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers were winning most of the time, and then Washington kind of came back there towards the end, and then the Steelers had a chance to come down and kick a field goal or get a touchdown, and
Steelers
old Ben
only
threw it,
scored
got tipped,
3
and they
points.
got picked off.
And Steelers only scored 3 points in the whole second half, man.
Yeah,
They didn't bring it at all. That like it just doesn't make sense. Like I know we want to talk about their soft schedule, and then Steelers fans are like, well, we don't make the schedule. Well, like, yeah, you don't, very true,
Yeah.
but like still,
but there
doesn't
is a
change the
reason that
fact-
they are consistently almost losing to even the worst teams in the league at
that's
this
what
point.
I
know,
mean. Like,
yes,
I
but
think
we're still getting the W. Yeah, that's an excuse, but you got to actually realize the fact what the team looks like.
exactly like the record can be very misconstrued sometimes. You know, like hey, they're
How
way
does the
better than
team look?
Patriots, so it is what it is. But I just match up with a Kansas City and see what happens. That's just all.
And that's
You
what
know, even
I said it before, man. The defense is great. It's that offense that's holding them back. That
but the
offense is just
defense
not
is
there.
also losing pieces by the week.
Exactly. By the week, they just lost
Unfortunately.
somebody else now.
Mhm.
Apparently, he's going to be out a couple weeks.
Don't want to see
The
anybody
past
get
3 to
injured.
4
But
weeks have been real bad as far as like defensive injuries for the Steelers.
right,
So I mean, everything that made them strong is just slowly getting chipped away. Which, hell, you hate to see it, but that's football, baby.
we'll see what happens next week.
You guys got 11 wins. You're all right.
Next up, got the Buffalo Bills and the 49ers.
Yeah, and the Bills, man, they're back to being the Bills.
They did work.
They did some work.
Josh Allen,
At 4 TDs.
almost 400 yards, man. He's back to just playing, like, trying to
Only
fool the league
missed
into
8
him being the
passes.
MVP.
He went 32 of 40.
Mhm.
Like this
Cole
dude
Beasley
balling.
had 130 yards. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and a
That's
touchdown.
all right, though. Like, I think they're gonna win the division. Like I was saying, it's kind of their division to lose at this point. The only thing that could happen is Miami can catch them if they slip up, and Miami just wins out, you know. But like, it's their division to lose at this point. I'm just hoping the Patriots can try to beat out Miami or something. We'll see what happens. It's not our year.
I saw something today that like I think it was Cole Beasley and Diggs for the Bills. They both have at least 3 games this year where they both have 100 yards. And I was like, that is crazy. That is
That's
why
awesome.
that is Cole Beasley.
All right.
So I mean, who did we had the Bills both winning that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got one more game, and it's actually
the-
being played right now.
Yeah, it's there's 3 minutes left in the fourth. It's 27-17. Ravens are beating the Cowboys right now.
And they have the ball, so I think this is pretty much over here.
Yeah. And
Looks like Lamar had 107 with 91 rushing yards, 2 TDs.
yeah, it looks like they're about to get in the red zone too. So
Right. Andy Dalton's playing all right. He has a pick, but 2 touchdowns and 240 yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zeke has 77 yards.
Zeke has not been playing like Zeke, man. It's just been frustrating.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys are banged up. As much as I hate on the Cowboys as well, the Cowboys are banged up. That O line isn't the same.
Yeah.
Them getting rid of not only having injuries on defense, but they lost a lot of bigger names on defense last year. They were kind of worried about their defense going into the season.
And then they got more and more injuries as it went on, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, the Ravens, it seems like they're maybe back on track. We'll see. Maybe they can kind of get a couple wins here going forward. They're not going to win the division by any means, unless like Steelers really slip.
I'm not even confident in them if they match up like with like Tennessee or Buffalo in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I was going to say the Bills. Yeah, I think any of those teams.
I lost my confidence in the Ravens, man. And maybe they'll prove me wrong. I just don't think I see them doing
and I mean
as good as they did last year.
And another note, before the game tonight, Des Bryant tested positive and then tweeted about, "I'm done with this. Peace. Like, I'm done for the season." And then he's just like pretty much said he's done.
Really?
Yeah. Let me pull up the tweet, bro, because there was a couple tweets in a row.
Des Bryant's just like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah, let me see here.
What do you mean I can't play? I mean, that's crazy. I didn't see that. He just like, I guess, wasn't trying to.
Okay, he has since said he's coming back.
Okay. He was just probably mad.
Yeah, he was probably mad.
Oh, the Ravens just scored another touchdown. It's 33-17. That game's over.
He said, "Tell me why this was a string of tweets. Tell me why they pull me from warming up so I can go get tested. My shit come back positive. I tested positive for COVID. What the fuck?" And then the crazy thing is I have the same damn routine. This shit does not make sense to me. And then he said, "Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it quit for the rest of the season. I can't deal with this." And then he was saying he just started tweeting about the game a little bit. And then an hour ago, as of right now, someone tweeted him like, "Des, tell us you're coming back." He's like, "Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm being smart." So he must have like had some time to chill, cool down. He's fucking sitting here drinking wine. It looks like he said he's having a glass of wine. So he just gotten to chill a little bit. But ain't that some shit? And it was supposed to be like his revenge, like his game against Dallas. That was like the big storyline going into it.
This was the perfect opportunity for him to play.
Yeah.
He probably could have cared less about the rest of the games all season.
So what was our records here? Now,
you
what are they
ended
standing
up
at now?
At 10-5 last week.
We back to 10.
Back up to double digits. So you are at 121.
Okay.
And you had 5 losses, so that's 71. And then I was 11-4 last week, so I caught you up a little bit. I'm at 120 and 70.
So you like 3 behind me, or 4 behind me.
I was, and I caught you. So that's one. Let me just write that down here. But yeah.
So what are we tied now? You said, or are you?
No. I'm 1 game behind you. You're 121 and 71. I'm 120 and 70.
I need to turn around this.
72.
I need to make some wild picks, and hopefully they win.
All right, let's get right into it.
Yeah, Thursday night game. You get an old Thursday primetime game this week. Old Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah,
the Patriots and the Rams.
Confidence through the roof.
You got confidence through the roof, huh?
Confidence through the roof right now because we just beat the 3-9.
So does that mean
Chargers.
You're taking the Patriots in this game?
Where is it? Is it in? Oh, it's in LA too.
Yeah, and they're the 5-point favorites as of right now.
Yeah, I'm taking New England.
Taking New England?
You're taking LA.
This is going to be my next step of getting ahead of you. I'm going to take LA. Hopefully they do some business.
That's all
I'm gonna
right.
take LA.
If we would have lost to the Chargers, yeah, I'm taking LA. But we beat the Chargers. This is the better LA team that we're facing now. So let's see what happens. If we win, I look like a genius. So I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
never know.
roll with
But
it.
I got the
Let's
Rams
go.
in this one. I figured you were gonna pick the
Understandable.
Pats, especially with the role you guys are having.
Yeah.
The next one here is the Texans and the Bears. This is a hard. This is one I definitely wouldn't bet on if I was
Yeah.
anybody.
Because this could go either way. But the Bears
Yeah.
have been letting me down and letting me down. I don't think they've won since I picked them. Since you've said about
Since
that.
I'm just gonna keep rolling with my prediction. I think they're gonna continue losing. Texans gonna win this one.
I'm picking Houston.
Especially, I think Deshaun Watson's a little pissed off after what happened against the Colts.
They also have no receivers out there, so
True.
Houston's still a 2-point favorite.
With no receivers.
That's awesome. I'll go with Houston.
Because then I think about like Allen Robinson, David Montgomery.
They'll be fine. I think they'll win that game because Chicago seems to find a way to lose. It doesn't matter who they're starting at quarterback right now. They need to find someone other than Nick Foles or.
Well, as long as you're picking Houston, I'll take Houston as well because that's a nice pick to match you on. The next one here is the Cowboys and the Bengals.
I'm picking Dallas in this one.
I'm actually going to pick Dallas as well. Because there's no way the Bengals are going to beat, without Joe Burrow. If they had Joe Burrow, I could see them maybe winning, but.
Right. This is a revenge game for Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
They're going to come at them Bengals.
Yeah. So I agree.
This next matchup is very, very good for New England.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I think I'm going to take the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs too. This is a good test for the Dolphins. This is going to be an interesting game.
This will be a good test because the Dolphins' D isn't bad, but I mean it is Pat Mahomes.
It's Pat Mahomes.
See what Tua can do against Pat Mahomes and their defense.
Right. I'm going with Kansas City.
Definitely Kansas City. They are the 7-point favorites already.
This next one here. Oh, this is.
This is one could go before I would say it wouldn't go either way. Now it could go either way. The Giants and the Cardinals. Arizona's 2.5-point favorite.
Who are you going with?
Oh man.
This is a tough one. Giants are playing a lot better football.
Because they're only one game apart from each other. I mean the Cardinals are 6-6. Giants could be 5 and. I mean, if the Cardinals lose, they would be 6-7, and the Giants would be 6-7.
Right.
I don't know, man. This is a hard one.
I'm gonna go with Arizona in this one. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Arizona and just live and die with that. Live or die with that. 2.5-point favorites right now. It is in New York though. But it's not like they have fans.
I don't think Danny Nichols is coming back either yet.
No, Danny Nichols isn't coming back yet either. Colt McCoy isn't playing bad football, though.
No, he's not. I'm just going to take the Cardinals, dude. I feel like it's the safer bet on that one.
It is. Kyler Murray, I think he's going to be better against that defense than Colt McCoy will be against the Cardinals. So let's see what happens there.
Yeah, I agree. The next one here is the Buccaneers and the Vikings. I'm going to take the Buccaneers in this one.
I'm taking
They had
Minnesota.
that bye week. I think they maybe figured some shit out on offense. Are you going to take Minnesota in this one, huh? Okay. Tampa Bay are 6.5-point favorites.
Primetime Kirk Cousins has been playing great football for weeks, and they keep losing. It's got to turn around for him sometime, And this is a great opportunity for him.
It could against Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is going to be able to figure it out, though.
Yeah.
The next one is the Broncos and the Panthers. And apparently old Christian McCaffrey is going to be coming back.
Oh, for real?
That's what they're saying.
That makes it even a little bit easier for me to pick the Panthers.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cody.
Sorry. I'm picking the Panthers as well.
Especially if McCaff's coming back.
Yeah.
Like Teddy
Actually,
Bridgewater.
I was planning on picking the Panthers even if McCaff wasn't coming back, I
I
think.
probably would have picked the Broncos if he
You
wasn't.
think?
Yeah, because they've been playing tough football.
Yeah.
They've been like playing like right up to people. As far as they beat
Yeah.
us, a couple weeks ago,
They went
but they've
close to
been
with
giving people good
Pittsburgh.
games.
They went close
Mhm.
with the Chiefs. Yeah.
They've just been injury riddled from the start.
Yeah. Definitely.
This next one
Uh,
here,
yeah, the Titans and the Jaguars. Tennessee is
Titans.
7.5-point favorites. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Titans. This
Sorry,
next one is
Jags.
even more interesting, and that is the Colts and the Raiders.
Hmm. Both jockeying for playoff positions in the AFC right now.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't. The Raiders
Indy's
haven't
pretty.
looked great the past couple weeks. They
They
haven't
haven't.
been impressive.
They almost lost to the Jets. If it wasn't for
Yeah,
Greg Williams.
and the Colts have an all right D. I would
Hmm.
say it's better than the Jets D, obviously, but
I'm
I
sorry,
think
but I'm rolling with Indy.
I was gonna roll with Indy too, man. I wasn't gonna pick the Raiders.
Hmm.
I was gonna take the Colts.
I was so
The Raiders just haven't impressed me the past couple weeks, man.
I think the Colts defense is better, and that's what's going to end up really mattering at the end of this game here.
Yeah. The next one is the Seahawks and the Jets. Seahawks are in a slump, and I think this is the perfect way to get them out of the slump.
Yeah,
Possibly beat up on the Jets, but who knows?
absolutely.
Jets
I,
maybe with some crazy like magic end up winning this game like
I,
Giants did.
I
But
don't see it. I'm rolling with Seattle.
yeah, definitely Seattle. The next one here is, oh damn, Seattle are 13.5-point favorites in that game. Jeez.
Damn.
That's the highest one this week so far. The next one is the Packers and the Lions, and I'm just gonna take the Packers outright.
This is a pretty easy game here. The
Even
Lions
though
all
it's
got real coach right
divisional,
now.
but
Yeah,
I think Aaron is just gonna be slinging it.
they're too hot. They're trying to make their way to the playoffs. They're just paving the way right now. I don't
Yeah,
see the Packers slowing down to a team like the Lions.
yeah. The next one here is the Falcons and the Chargers.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take Atlanta.
I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Okay. I think I'm gonna take Atlanta in this one.
Okay. I'm just
Interesting.
I'm gonna hope for a Herbert bounce back here. Let's see what
Interesting.
happens. I'm gonna take the
Um,
Chargers in that one.
the next one is the Washington No Names and the 49ers. I know you don't want to bet the No Names, but I kind of want to bet the No Names against the
I
49ers.
kind of want to, but I feel like that's just fool's gold. I'm going with San Fran, the real gold, the 49ers. Who you going with?
I'm gonna take Washington.
Okay.
If they were
Yep.
able to beat Pittsburgh with that defense they have, I think they can beat the 49ers.
If I didn't make that pact at the beginning of the season, I probably would have picked Washington.
And the other 4:30 game is the Saints and the Eagles. I'm picking the Saints in this one.
Me too.
Um,
I gotta
as
roll
we
New
as we did talk about already, Jalen Hurts is going to be starting.
hmm I
I
think what's his
think
name? Hill's gonna be starting as well. Drew Brees isn't
yeah,
coming back yet,
Taysom
right?
Hill is going to be starting, so it's backup QB versus backup QB.
Right.
I think Doug shouldn't have announced that Jalen Hurts was going to be the starter already. Because I mean, think about it. The Saints pretty much play against a more steroid version of Jalen Hurts. Like
Yeah.
they practice against them. They know how to play against that kind of QB.
Steroid version of
They know how to play against that kind of QB that Jalen Hurts is.
Yeah.
I think unless Doug somehow comes up with a new game plan to kind of fit Jalen Hurts, which would be fucking bogus because I've been begging him to do that with Carson all year.
Why hasn't he?
Like, why hasn't he? So I mean, I don't see. I think the same. I think we're going to see the same thing that would be happening if Carson was in. I think he's going to be running for his life because of this offensive line. I think he's going to be missing some targets. I think he's going to get sacked a couple times.
Right.
Is Who knows? Maybe he'll have some momentum. I think I predicted it on Twitter today. I think the most Philly thing that could happen because of how terrible this season is Jalen Hurts not doing well. They pull him, put Carson in, and then Carson somehow wins the game. That's going to be the most ridiculous thing to even alter this storyline further. Is like,
Like,
oh, they benched Wentz because Hurts looked better or whatever. Oh, Hurts isn't looking good. Wentz comes in, wins the game. Like,
they
what do you
put a
do with that point?
resurgence in him. Does he
What do
feel
you
like he can actually do it and win games now? Has he got his confidence back? Like,
what do you do at that point? But I don't know. That's wild and out there. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think the Saints are going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be close. I think probably like 17 to like 7 or
like
something, or like
I
20
was thinking
something
like
7,
35-15,
something
something
like
like
that.
that. You
Yeah,
know.
something like that. I don't think it's going to be great. Um, I'll talk a little bit more about that a little later, though, as far as Eagles go. But
Right.
yep, Saints in that one.
This next
Uh,
one,
the
I'm
prime
picking
time game.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Okay. Steelers and the Bills.
Mhm.
Definitely picking Buffalo. Steelers in back-to-back weeks now, their offense has pretty much stalled in the second
Right.
half or to close a game. And Mike Tomlin said even after this game, he's like, if receivers aren't going to catch the ball, we're going to replace them with somebody who will. And
Oh,
he said that after the game. And it's like, whoa, shit.
this is
Maybe,
the Steelers' remaining schedule. They could potentially lose 3 of the last 4 games.
yeah,
Bills, Bengals, Colts, and the Browns.
yeah. And a couple weeks ago, they were saying this last stretch was going to be a cakewalk. So
Mhm.
we'll see. I agree with you. As soon as I saw the game was prime time and everything, I
Yep.
I think the Bills are gonna. I don't want to say they're gonna win it handily because that's gonna be a little overboard right now. I think they're gonna win.
I think they're gonna pull it out. Josh Allen's playing great.
Yeah, Josh Allen's playing great. He got wheels too, man. You're not
Right.
gonna be able to stop them wheels, and especially with Stephon Diggs and like Cole Beasley getting 100 yards per game,
Playing great.
playing great. Like they got all the weapons, man, right now. Buffalo maybe could make an all right playoff run if they play their cards right,
I
man.
think they could give Kansas City a good game, to
That's
be
what I'm
honest.
saying. I think that could possibly be a huge upset in the playoffs, but we'll kind of talk about that then.
We'll see.
The next
Uh,
one is the Monday night game is the
mhm.
Ravens and the Browns, the
I'm
Brownies.
rolling with Cleveland in this one. I think their defense is better than Baltimore's at this point. Or not their defense, their offense is better than Baltimore's at this point. Baker
Yeah,
Mayfield's playing great. He's playing great football. I know they slowed down in the second half, but they kind of just took their foot off the gas,
they
which
took
they
their
shouldn't have
yeah,
done,
yeah.
but they did.
I agree.
Even without Odell. So until Lamar can, I mean, I know they won tonight here as of us recording this, but
That was
I
against the Cowboys, who
exactly.
are close
I
to what the Browns are doing right now.
I think the Browns squeak this one out. It's probably gonna be a close game. It's not gonna be a blowout by any means. Not gonna be what they did last week, the Browns. So
Yeah,
like I'm picking Cleveland in this one.
I'm right there with you. I'm gonna pick the Browns as well.
Hmm.
Just like what you said, the Ravens. There's nothing exciting about their offense right now.
Right.
They're just trying to get by at this point. Um, yeah, that's pretty much week 14, man.
Oh yeah, it's in the books now. We got it written down. Hopefully I catch up to you. I'm only one game back. We'll
We'll
see what
see.
happens.
Hopefully, I extend that lead a little bit more. What's next here on the agenda? We talked about the NHL, talked about everything going on with the NFL. Ohio State and Michigan game this weekend was canceled.
Canceled.
Canceled because Michigan apparently has a bunch of
They
COVID
can't
positive
keep their
tests.
shit together.
Can't keep their shit together.
Thanks, Michigan. Really appreciate
Thanks.
that. This
Wish.
age-old tradition that's been going on since 1917 is now ruined because y'all can't keep your shit together.
And they're
I'm
talking
just kidding.
about
I'm just
how it
kidding.
possibly could screw Ohio State out of Like,
Yeah,
being in
unless
like
the
the
Big
power
Ten,
there.
unless they change the rules, there because you need at least 6 games to be considered for the championship. So we only have 5. So
They should just find another
unless
team that's not playing this weekend. Play
yeah,
them.
like get on the field, get on the field, just play. Let's play. Beat them like 70-0. It's like we'll pay you
Just to
$3
get them.
million to get on this field and play. That's how they get the smaller schools to play teams like Alabama. They pay them to play Alabama.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah, I mean
it got
that's pretty
canceled.
crazy predicament.
As long as everybody's trying to stay as safe as possible, that's what really matters. You know what I mean? So if it needs to be canceled, if it needs to be canceled, it needs to be canceled. It is what it is. It just sucks because that's the game. It's literally called the game, you know. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean another sports news. The only thing really out of the NBA really is I don't think we talked about it. It kind of missed us on the last podcast, but Russell Westbrook getting traded to the Wizards
Right
now for John Wall.
I think it was. I think me and you were talking about it. I think outside of this, and we were talking about how I think it's just like a lateral move. I think Russell Westbrook obviously is a lot more athletic than John Wall because of all the injuries and everything that John Wall's been through.
Yeah, John Wall's. I think he's kind of going down. He's kind of going on the downslope. Kind of the end of his career a little bit.
Right. I do think Russell Westbrook is underappreciated. Like, we take advantage of the fact that he's a walking triple-double, but it's also, it hasn't been helping his team win necessarily. Like, so it's kind of like, is it hero ball triple-doubles, or is it, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see, I guess, now in Washington with Bradley Beal. It's a new duo. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm interested I would like to see it. Plus John Wall in Houston, man, that's gonna be nice with James Harden.
Yeah, I mean, if he's there, I mean, there was rumors about him today saying if they can make a trade happen to the Sixers, he's fine with that. I saw.
That'd be interesting.
So
Doc Rivers.
I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. I mean, as of right now, this weekend, preseason starts for the NBA this weekend. So. We get an NBA back, which is pretty exciting. I'm excited to see what the new look Bulls are. Yeah. Hopefully they don't suck. But
clean slate. Everybody's got 0 wins. New season.
Exactly. We're back to being fresh, new coach and everything.
Got something.
I know you're excited.
Yeah, they're not going to be. Apparently, AD and LeBron aren't going to be playing in the preseason opener. Probably in the season opener, but they ain't fucking around with the preseason. I don't know if they'll play at all. Probably at least a little bit, but they're not playing with in the first game here this weekend. So
yeah.
But I'm real excited for the season go forward. It started stacking up on players, man. It's looking nice.
Yeah.
It's looking real nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. I'm not expecting the Bulls or anything to do anything crazy, but maybe get an all right record. Maybe squeak an 8th seed in if possible. I'd be all right with that.
Make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs.
Regardless.
Try to shoot for them, get in, but it is what it is, man. I mean, we could either
Warriors do. That's like I'm interested in that too. The Warriors dynamic
without Clay.
Their team's still nice even without Clay. They still have a lot of good pieces there, you know. But it's obviously a big hit.
The Nets are going to be one I'm going to be looking to watch because that's going to be an interesting team to see how they mesh.
Right.
Especially with like Steve Nash coaching and everything.
But what do you want to get to next here?
I mean, we can either talk about our little predictions for the playoffs here for the NFL real quick, or we can hit into the bias bubble. It's up to you.
I wanted to talk about who I thought was going to be getting the 1 seeds.
Okay.
And there's only 2 now. So I think now with this loss, Pittsburgh's going to end up. They, like we were just saying, they can slide. 3 of these last 4 games, there's real possibility they can lose these games. Kansas City is getting that 1 seed, and if it's not Kansas City, it's going to be Buffalo's not winning. See, Kansas City's already tied with Pittsburgh, where Buffalo is still 2 games back, and I don't see them necessarily. They're number 3 in the playoffs here. I don't see them hopping up, skipping both of them. So I think Kansas City gets the 1 seed.
If anything, they would skip like Pittsburgh probably if they end up
Right.
losing those string of games, but they're
Right.
definitely not going past Kansas City there.
As far as Green Bay and New Orleans and the Rams, they're all separated here. Like New
Yeah,
Orleans is 10-2, Green Bay is 9-3, and the Rams are 8-4. I think Green Bay could end up taking that one seed in there as well.
I think they could too. Let me
Let me
see
see who
here. I was going to
the
look at the
Saints
Saints
play.
schedule here.
Right.
See, look, the Saints play the Eagles, the Chiefs,
Mhm.
which they can take an L to the Chiefs, the Vikings, and the Panthers. So I mean, I don't know if the Saints are going to drop one to the Vikings or the Panthers, but
They'll
the
probably
Chiefs, yeah,
lose that
probably.
Chiefs game. And then meanwhile, the Packers play the Lions, the Panthers, the Titans, and then the Bears. So they could
Oh,
potentially win out too.
yeah,
So I
that's
could see the
true.
Packers getting that one seed in the NFC. Bye
Yeah, and
weeks are going to mean a
The
lot this
Rams, they
year.
got the Pats, the Jets, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's going to be
Which it's
tougher for
not.
them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between Green Bay and New Orleans.
Right. Well, we'll see. It's interesting
I
to kind of.
I think I got Green Bay in the Super Bowl, man. I'm switching it from Tampa Bay
I'm
to
gonna
Green
stick
Bay. It's
with.
the other Bay.
I'm gonna stick with my pick just because maybe Pittsburgh will surprise me. But I have Pittsburgh and Seattle as my pick. Oh God, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
had
gonna stick with
Seattle.
it for now.
I mean, I had Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. I don't think that's going to happen. I see Green Bay.
Yeah,
Maybe the battle of the Bays in the playoffs at some point, but I think the green one's going to come out on top.
not the Tampa.
Not the Tampa Gronk, Tampa Bay Gronkaneers.
Oh shit.
So yeah, we'll hit the bias bubble here really quick, man. You can go ahead.
Pretty much just
Talk
like I was
about your
saying
place.
about the as far as the Lakers go, just excited for preseason. Gonna get to see some of the younger guys playing. You know, some of the practice squad and stuff like that, or whatever.
Yeah,
Whoever is gonna be playing in these, because you know we don't have no summer league this year. So like, I don't even know who we're gonna. To be honest, I don't even know who's gonna be playing because we're gonna have a lot of people sitting out. We only have like what 70 days, 80 days removed from the finals, where you got other teams are 260 days removed from playing last. So like, there's a lot of players that are gonna want rest still, you know. So
yeah,
it's not really too much coming out of the Lakers camp. We had all the free agency news last week, all the trades and people getting signed,
yeah.
but they're just doing the
Yeah, you
roster
guys are locked
construction.
in pretty much, just practicing, getting ready for the season.
Yep, yep. Looking good as far as the roster goes. I think prime position to make another run for another title. So we'll
Oh,
see.
definitely. I
Happy that
definitely
we
see you guys.
re-signed LeBron, re-signed the AD. So
Yeah, you didn't
that
just sign AD,
duo,
you locked him down for the foreseeable
right?
future.
I was surprised he signed a long-term deal, but that just means he is franchise player now. He is
Yeah,
locked
that's your
in.
dude
You
going
have
forward.
exactly that maybe him and LeBron could win a couple finals. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. But that's a long way away. They got a lot of work to do before they get to that point, you know.
Yeah.
As far as football, Patriots won 4 of the last 5, like we were talking about.
Yep.
Looks like they're trying desperately to climb back into this playoff race. I don't think their efforts will necessarily be like rewarded. I think Miami and Buffalo are too good this year. It's crazy, but hey, it is what it is. You can't win them all. As much as I want to, you can't win them all. You know, and I know you're just
Yeah.
like rolling your eyes, like "fuck you, Patriots fan," but it is what it is. It's just like I'm not used to seeing them in third place in the division this late in the season. You know, but
I
6-6,
yeah.
back
I
to
can imagine that
500
would be a
there.
little startling, like how it was looking for a while. You're like, what? I didn't know this could
Yeah,
happen.
but it's all good. We'll see what happens. Cam Newton's not playing the best as far as a passer, but he's still getting about 2 rushing touchdowns every week. So I'm glad. Like, we're winning games right now. Let's keep it rolling. Have the Rams next week.
Yeah,
Don't really
you
have
guys
too
are
much to say
game
about
planning for
them.
each team. It looks like you're trying to
Hmm.
figure like you pretty much. That's what Bill Belichick does. He knows the weaknesses of everybody, and you guys just.
Right.
It seemed like you guys are the only team that really you can look at the team each week and see that you guys have a different game plan every week.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what's crazy
That's
about the Patriots.
that's the thing. Like it's always
You
about the
attack differently
preparedness.
all the time.
He tries to make sure you're prepared for the opponent every week. Like and players have said this before. Like it's even more on the Patriots than other teams. Like just the attention to detail. It seems like Bill Belichick's walking around asking players like, "Hey, what?" It's just random questions. And what high school did Justin Herbert go to? And Stephon Gilmore's like, "Oh, blah 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 blah." But like just making sure his players know what they're
Yeah.
doing. Like it's interesting. But I don't really have too much as far as that goes this week. We covered a lot of it.
Nice. I'm ready for the Flyers, man. I mean, they had the 1 seed last year. I'm really excited for hockey to start. I think it is a shortened season. I think they're only doing like 54 games or something like
Yeah.
that. So it'll be
Especially
all right.
starting
I'm
in
all right with a
January.
shortened season. So that just means closer to the playoffs, which
And
that's
more
when hockey's
games.
the best. Yeah,
We're gonna have a ton of games like in
ton
a
of
row.
games. Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Bulls season, see what happens.
Mhm.
But the real meat and potatoes I wanted to talk about is my kind of my town hall address, my State of the Union to Philly. So I'm just gonna get into
Here
it.
we go. Here we go.
Philly, I want you to understand. We're gonna talk about my boy Carson Wentz here. I want you to understand. I have no hate towards Jalen Hurts. I want Jalen Hurts to succeed as long as he's started for the Eagles. As long as he's playing for the Eagles, I'm fine with him. This is not about Jalen Hurts. This is about goddamn Doug Peterson, Howie Roseman, and Jeff Lurie drafting Carson Wentz, trading up for him, having some great seasons with Carson Wentz, and
Drafted
then
him number
refusing
2 overall, right?
trading up for him. They traded with the Browns. He could have went to the Browns. He could be on the Browns as of right now. And I want to talk about how they did my boy dirty because the news, everybody was expecting it. I was expecting them to name Jalen Hurts the starter. But as I was seeing it today, it broke my heart because Carson's my dude. Carson, I've stuck thick and thin with Carson Wentz. And I obviously can't defend his play by any means because it's bad. But I also, as of the past couple weeks, it comes down to the coaching. It comes down to the people around him. And that's pretty much what the point of this is the Eagles have failed Carson Wentz. They refuse to build around him. They refuse to help him out in the draft. Right. You got rid of Nick Foles because of the QB controversy just to draft Jalen Hurts. And
create another one.
In the second round to create another one, especially now. Like, you put him in the game. He's now the official starter of the team. You did this to yourself. And, I mean, at this point, I'm just, like, I want them to feel the pressure at this point. Not Carson. I feel bad for Carson. But I want the team, and I want the owners and the coaches to feel the pressure of the fans because you deserve this. You made your bed. Now you got to lie in it. Like, you're paying him $30 million a year starting next year. His contract kicks in.
Well, apparently he has no guaranteed money past next season, like not a dime guaranteed past next season. So, but next season he is the highest guaranteed player
as of next year. If they trade him or cut him, if they cut him, they have to eat like 50 mil or something. If they trade him, they have to eat like 38 mil or 40 mil. Which
is that before the end of next year?
I think so.
If they do that before, because like I said, that's just because he's guaranteed so much money next year.
It's not. They didn't cut Alshon for the same reason. Alshon if they would have cut Alshon beginning of this year, which they wanted to, it would have cost 28 mil on the cap. Next year, due to COVID, the cap's dropping by like 50 to 60 million. You're not going to want to take another 30 mil cap hit on top of that by trading Wentz.
No.
Listen, Carson's going to be around. I guarantee you, even this is the only last couple games. If Jalen Hurts does well, I guarantee you Carson's probably starting next year. Right. It's just going to happen. There's no way they're going to sit 30 mil on the bench. As far as coaches, if Doug's around, I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully listen, I'm okay if Doug's around if they have an offensive coordinator, but Howie needs to be gone. Howie Roseman cannot be drafting if we have because we're probably gonna have a good pick this year. Howie Roseman
I
cannot
don't
make this
know,
draft pick.
man.
Howie Roseman has got to go, man. Um, I just I'm more sad for Carson Wentz. I am mad at the Eagles as an organization. I love this team so much, but I am so pissed off at them for how dirty they did a player. And I know you should be a fan of the team and not individual players because it's a business. I know how it
But
is.
still,
But Carson is the way he is right now because of the team, because of the organization. It's not like, oh, you have a decent O line and weapons and he's missing passes, throwing picks and all this. Literally, you were seeing the same things on the field with Jalen Hurts as you were seeing with Carson. You were getting sacked, running around, missing passes. Receivers can't get open. Steelers and the Eagles are the top two teams with drop passes by receivers this year. Steelers and the Eagles.
despicable.
The Steelers passed the Eagles this past game against Washington. It's despicable. I mean, that's been the story of Philly the past couple of years with drops, but that doesn't help Carson either. And I understand he has issues. He's in his own head. Hopefully, they start Jalen the rest of the season. Probably, maybe that'll give Carson some time to clear his head. Maybe off season to do whatever he got to do.
Still got a chance to make the playoffs.
Still got a chance to make the playoffs. I don't know if that's really the best option as of right now, but who knows? I'm not even thinking playoffs at this point, to be honest. That's not even in my head.
I'm
I'm more
this for
thinking
the
about
playoffs. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Already thinking about what's happening this offseason type shit.
Yeah,
I don't think Wentz is going anywhere. I don't think Hurts is going anywhere, but I don't know. Time will tell. I am very scared of what this organization is going to do because I have seen what they can do. I've seen it. So I have seen them be able to put a team together and win a Super Bowl 3 years ago. And I've also seen them not help somebody at all and try to build around them. So, I mean,
clean house.
And clean house. I've seen them clean house before. So I don't know. I think they do need to clean house. Alshon Jeffrey's got to go. Jason Peters got to go. All these old heads that they stuck around because of loyalty got to fucking go. Like, you're not pulling your weight and you're taking up too much money. I think Zach Ertz is going to go. I think Fletcher Cox is going to be traded. I think they're going to be cleaning house. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think Carson's going to be here next year. And hopefully they don't do my boy dirty. Just because of the money. That's the only reason. Unless they can find somebody like maybe Frank Reich fucking loves Carson that much that they're like, we're going to trade for Carson Wentz and we're going to get him on the Colts.
Here's one for you. The Buccaneers lose every game for the rest of the season. Bruce Arians gets fired because Tom Brady's talking like he convinces the owner somehow that he's got to go and Tom stays. Like, you know, Bruce Arians, the quarterback whisperer, comes to Philadelphia as your offensive coordinator and then teaches Carson Wentz how to be the best quarterback ever.
I don't know who I want as an offensive coordinator, but I want Dan Orlovsky as my QB coach. I think he could be Carson Wentz whisperer.
He could just get in there and pep talk him all the time.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too. I don't know if Bruce Arians. I don't know if he would go anywhere if he
Bruce
got
Arians ain't getting fired.
Yeah, exactly. Even if he did, I think he would just retire like he did before.
Yeah.
I remembered the crazy prediction I was going to say. I mentioned earlier in the podcast. I think Carson Wentz could be going to the Patriots in the future, and I think he could be your next fucking Tom Brady under Bill Belichick. I think he could be molded. You could protect him. You can mold him. He has a strong ass arm. I think Bill Belichick would love Carson Wentz. I don't think you're paying the $30 million for him. No. I think maybe in the next couple of years, if you can get your hands on him, Carson Wentz would be amazing on the Patriots.
I would like to see either Carson or Matt Stafford on the Patriots. Either one of them.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford needs to get out of Detroit.
But that was my thought today was like, geez, like, I don't know why I didn't think of it before. Like, I always thought the Colts because of Frank Reich, but if Bill Belichick got to work with Wentz, he would get him figured out. He would know how to use him. He would
Him and
know how to play
McDaniels,
design. Oh
they would
yeah,
go over. They would design around him
bro.
the same
They
way they
would.
design around Cam.
You guys would be like you were with Tom Brady, getting 10 wins a season. You guys would be fine.
Man,
And
it's
then
like
I
it
will
was
be here
yesterday.
rooting for you guys because I'll be like, I fucking told you. I told every single one of you. I'll be defending you guys on Twitter all the time. Oh, Carson Wentz was trash a couple years ago, huh? Carson Wentz don't got it. Look, he throw it fucking 40 touchdowns a year, 4,000 yards for the
I'd be
Patriots.
so happy.
We're
I'd get a
getting
Carson Wentz Patriots
getting
jersey.
playoff wins. So like Carson Wentz don't know no playoff wins. Well, Carson Wentz gonna have a couple more Super Bowl rings because of Bill Belichick. Like watch it,
That would
watch
make
it
me so
happen.
happy. That would make me
I
so
like
happy.
I put it on Twitter just in case. So years down the line, I can find it and retweet that shit or send it because I called it.
Look, say.
Either that or the Colts because I called that
Okay,
at one point
so you're
too.
calling that. I want to call Matt Stafford coming to the
Matt
Patriots
Stafford.
in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, that's my prediction as far
But
as future Patriots quarterback.
to end my rant and my little speech, if there's any other Philly fans watching, don't give up on Carson Wentz. Realize that the real issue isn't just the quarterback; it's the whole team. The
Right.
quarterback is only as good as the coaching, and the team's only as good as the coaching. There's an
Right.
issue, and it's not like obviously Carson's part of the issue, but he's not the issue.
There's
And
52 other people on that team too. You know,
exactly. And I mean, that's the only thing I'm scared about with Hurts starting this week is Doug and them game planning actually around Hurts and it works. And then it's going to make it look like it's more of Carson's fault when it's not. When they're in actuality, they actually just game planned better for Hurts. Just like with Foles, they game planned better for Foles than they did for Wentz at one point during 2018 season. They were using RPOs and everything. It's like I think the real issue is between Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, and Doug Peterson. I think all three of them want different things, and they're all fighting with each other, trying to
Right.
like. I think Doug wants to do things his way. He wants more control, and Howie Roseman's just being the GM. Like, no, I want this, I want this, I want this, and it's just like they're butting heads, and it's not working. And week in and a week out. I think Jeffrey Lurie was the one that wanted to get Hurts, and he's the one that told Peterson to start Hurts if Wentz started to struggle. So I mean, like I said, the past two podcasts, dark days are ahead, and I am preparing. I am calling it now. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Dougie P is going to be here next season. I don't know how he's going to be here next season. Who knows? But
we'll see come Black
try
Monday.
to stay positive in these dark times. I know there's not a lot to be positive about, but I love Carson Wentz. Hopefully he sticks around, but if not, I think Jalen Hurts could be a good asset for the Eagles. He's a great QB. It looks like he could fit the new QB mold that's in the NFL now, like a Lamar Jackson, a Kyler Murray. He could be one of those QBs now. So I mean,
right. He's
it's
got
not
championship
all bad.
experience in college.
As much as I want
Well, not
Carson to be the
championship,
starter, as much as I want him to be the starter in the future of this franchise, if they did move on, it's not a bad way to move on because you got Jalen Hurts. You got a dude
young player.
He's 22. Apparently, he's the youngest Eagle to start a game since Randall Cunningham, who was 22.
Nice,
whenever he first started. I saw that today.
Maybe
so I mean,
it's a good thing.
Maybe it's a good thing. At this point, I just feel bad for Wentz in this, and that's kind of the point. Is I can't even imagine what's going through this dude's head right now, man.
Right.
And I mean, the only reason I feel like that is because I think Carson's the same age as us. Like, as we were coming out of high school and shit, like, I don't know. Not even out of high school. It was a couple years after. But I just remember following his story as he was getting drafted and everything. And I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. He was my dude. And now it's like, I hate to see that guy being done dirty the way he is and taking
Hopefully
the blame.
It switches gears and there could be a resurgence of his career in Philadelphia. And not
people are so quick to forget this dude threw for 4,000 passing yards and with no receiver above 500 receiving yards last season and went to the playoffs. Like, so quick to forget. This dude can be good, man. He can be good. But
we'll see what happens.
yeah, I mean, on that note, I'll end that. So, before we move on, we got the last thing to do.
You got the crazy sports fact.
Crazy sports stat of the podcast. I don't know if you have one this year or not.
No, man, I told you
today. I don't know.
I figured you had a list that we were rolling.
I do.
How long is
this
list?
Found more today.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, I was gonna give you a kind of a two-parter today, so it's gonna take a little bit out, and it's an NBA one. Let me see here. No player in NBA history has ever had a single season averaging 30 points and 20 rebounds, except Wilt Chamberlain, who achieved this feat in 7 straight seasons.
And nobody's ever done it once.
Nobody's ever done it. 30 points and 20 rebounds the whole year for 7 straight seasons. And on top of that, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 49 minutes a game one season, and he played more overtime minutes than minutes that he sat.
Oh my! More overtime minutes.
More overtime minutes than minutes that he sat during the season.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But like Wilt was dominant.
Yeah. You could like pretty much any Wilt stat you could really use as a crazy sports fact, or like Jerry Rice too. You can pull a ton of his stats.
Or Larry Bird, even, man. Larry Bird's got some crazy stories.
Yeah, like I read one about his left-handed game that he played, where he's like, I'm just going to use my left hand today. And he ended up dropping like 50 points or something. Like
the
wild.
left-handed triple-double.
The left-handed triple-double.
Because he was saving his right hand for the Lakers 2 days later.
Yeah, and then there was apparently he would go into like different stadiums and ask what the highest point total was scored there. And then he would just go out and beat it, bro. Like that's some savage shit.
And then like we probably saw the same post, but there was another one in that post that was like he came into the All-Star game locker room and was like, all right, who's coming in second in the 3-point contest? And then proceeded to go out in his warm-ups and win.
And won just like, chilling in his warm-ups.
Didn't even take his warm-ups off.
Like I don't understand growing up how savage of a dude that Larry Bird was, but apparently he was one of the most he would talk trash the most out of anybody apparently.
Right.
Like that was not the impression I had from Larry Bird growing up. Like I need to see know that Larry Bird was such a trash talker. But this dude apparently straight savage on the court. But yeah, that's the crazy week, man. Who knows what's gonna happen a week from now when we do the next podcast.
Yeah, two-parter.
That was the two-part. The next part was the minutes one.
Oh, well, okay.
Like cool. I had like the 20 and 30, and then the minutes was the second part.
But yeah, man, we got a whole week ahead of us, getting closer and closer to the NBA starting back up. I don't know what's going on with baseball, to be honest. I haven't heard nothing out of baseball.
Heard a damn thing about baseball, to be honest.
I don't know what. They're not playing in the winter. Yeah. They don't care. They're not going to play in the winter.
But I haven't seen any news regarding anything. So,
but hey, we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about next week as well. See if we have any guests coming on the next couple podcasts or not. I'm sure we'll get somebody on here, even if it's just like Alex or something.
We don't have anybody lined up as of right now, but definitely go check out Journey with the Jays Network. They're sponsoring us now. So, I mean, go check out all their shows. We had Jacob Christner from the Pundits Pundit last week, which was our longest podcast so far. So go check that one out.
It was great. Go check it out.
Very informative. So, yeah.
That's pretty much all we got for this week here.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. See you, everybody.